we can now start talking about Ryan Day. And I don't think SEC fans are going to like this, but it's reality, whether you like it or not. It's arguably the... Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you are having a great day. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, believe it or not, it was not a dream. It wasn't a dream. More so of a nightmare for me. I'm just playing. The Little Bro State Buckeyes, or a better way of saying it, the Little Bro Buckeyes won the national championship. For those of you that can't tell, you can see the light outside right there. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. It is the following morning. I got a lot of energy. I'm feeling whoa. I was wondering why I was so zoomed in. My apologies. Bobby, I'm feeling a little bit better, and I know I didn't tell y'all. I know y'all really don't care too much, but you know how I got sick around a month ago at the beginning of the playoffs? I've also gotten re-sick the past week. I just can't get over it, and yeah, I got to fight through it. However, today, for the first time within the past 5 to 6 days, actually feeling kind of back to my normal self at 80-85% last night. Even when I made the video, wasn't feeling too good. Y'all could probably tell the tone of my voice just wasn't too energetic, and also had something to do with Ohio State winning national championship. Of course, that was a bummer for your boy Matt. I mean, look, Marcus Freeman sent me. I didn't even wear it last night. He sent me some Notre Dame gear. There's a T-shirt in here. I mean, I was ready to put this stuff on for the video, but didn't happen. I felt like it would have been stupid to wear it for the video if they lost, because I'm not wearing I guess you'd say, apparel of a team that lost the national championship. But that is besides the point. That is neither here nor there. Getting all sidetracked. We're here to talk about the man, the myth, the legend himself, Ryan Day. Is he a fraud? I don't know. Now, I thought about making this video last night after I did the recap analysis, whatever you want to call it, on the game. But let me erase all this and we'll just leave this in the video. I told myself, I need to sleep on it, because my immediate reaction isn't always the best reaction, because sometimes that's just emotional. I slept on it, and I've actually been up for a few hours. Got up around 6:30, and had my morning coffee and stuff and finished it. And I was just thinking about the Ryan Day situation. Is he a fraud or not? That is the question of this video. It's what we're going to get down to. I have some cold hard facts ready to go. And I feel like, and it's why I didn't even want to make this video as soon as I woke up. I feel like I have an answer, and it's a confident answer at that. As we all know, and let's not act like this didn't happen, Ohio State fans, even last year, after Ohio State lost to Michigan for the third straight season, they were calling for Ryan Day's job. It was about, I'd say, 50-50. Some fans had his back saying, Matt, look at all the games he's won, has a great winning percentage. What was my rebuttal? I don't care how many times you beat sorry and sucky Iowa, Northwestern, Minnesota, Michigan State, Rutgers. The list goes on and on. The Big Ten's awful, especially the bottom half of that league. I don't care how many times you beat them teams. Indiana. We can go on. Purdue. I mean, I can sit here all day and name off all these sucky Big Ten teams. Now, the top of the league is great. We're not here to even talk about the Big Ten. I already know. People are going to go to the comment section and talk about Big Ten SEC. That's not even what this is about. And I could care less about that at this point in time. We're here to talk about Ryan Day. The point is, Ryan Day, great winning percentage, but hasn't been able to get over the hump. Can't win a big-time game in general, and then outside of that, he can't win the game. If you don't know what the game is, that is against Big Bro Michigan. 0-4 in his last 4. I say all that to say this. So last year was the final straw for some fans. This year was it. It's Dunzos. I'd say 90% of the fan base, and they're going to act like they weren't. They were. And I've seen some of y'all admit it in the comment section, and I'll clap it up. I respect that. Some Ohio State fans saying, yeah, I actually wasn't on Ryan Day's side. I was calling for his job, but he's really impressed me and he turned things around. That's fine. Just don't be one of those people who act like you weren't calling for his job, because most of you were. But now here we are. You lose to Michigan, and it doesn't, if you got to ask me, doesn't amount to a hill of beans. I'll get to that in just a second. Because you win a national championship. That is the goal every single year. Win the national championship. And I'll do it again like I did all through the video yesterday. Clap it up to Little Bro State. Heck of a season. You don't need me to sit up here and applaud you too much, because you won a national championship. That's the standard at Ohio State. It was great. I clapped it up 4,000 times in last night's video. So if you want to see me give Ohio State all the props and credit, go watch last night's video. We're here to talk about Ryan Day. And I have a fun fact for you. This is what, I wrote this down on a piece of paper and just stared at it because I think it's important. Let's move this up so y'all can see it. Oh yeah, y'all can see that great. 0.875%, 875. You probably know where I'm going at with this. And you're not even asking. Matt, what does that number represent? You know what it represents. That's who we're talking about. That is Ryan Day's winning percentage. 875. Or I don't know why I said that. We'll just say 875. Almost 90. That's insane. I believe all time that ranks third or fourth. No. I believe it's fourth. And the three guys that are ahead of them are guys that coach in like the 1800s. That don't even count. Honestly, Ryan Day's got the best winning percentage of all time. Let's just keep it a Fortnite V-Buck. Because they were showing last night some dude who coached Yale back in the 1700s has this perfect, not perfect, but he had like a 90 win percent, something like that. Buddy, there was only like 4 football teams back then, and there was no rules. Like, we talk about how there's no, what's the term? Not term, what's the word I'm looking for here? Regulations now, dude, back then, it was nothing. You could give out 300 scholarships. That crap don't count. I'm sorry if you're a fan of whoever the guy is all-time leader, whatever. And you're probably not a fan because you weren't even alive when he was coaching. Ryan Day has the best winning percentage of all time. To me, because I'm not counting all that old crap when the guys were coaching before Christopher Columbus sailed to America. 875. But we'll switch it up. Let's go blue marker here. We'll separate this. Actually, no. Yeah, this is better. The blue line would just be the separator. Ryan Day is now a very, I know they play sorry and sucky. Rutgers, I'm about to name off all the bad teams. You get the point. I know they play all those sorry teams. But 70-10, which equates to 875. That's pretty crazy. I mean, you were talking about now with this chance, because the only missing thing, here's what's actually scary. Or not really scary, but eye-opening. The only thing Ryan Day was missing from his resume, and it's why we couldn't label him as a great, or potentially, just between me and you, an elite head coach, was a national championship. Guess what, partner? And this is what Ohio State fans always brought up. But people like me eating cheesy puffs in the man cave, I only needed one rebuttal. Well, that's great. He's got a great winning percentage, but doesn't have a national championship. That's how we base success, whether it's the Jordan LeBron debate, whether it's the NFL. Why do we call Tom Brady the GOAT? Yeah, he was a great quarterback, but it's because he's got the most national championships. That is how we measure success. Championships. Is it fair? Probably not, because, for example, Dan Marino, he is an outstanding quarterback, but he played on a not-so-great team in the Dolphins and never won a Super Bowl. Therefore, we never talk about Dan Marino being the greatest quarterback of all time. He probably isn't, but you get my point. You got to win Super Bowls. You got to win national championships, whether that be in college football or college basketball. It's like John Calipari. Don't even get me started on John Calipari rant. I've been telling y'all. I know a lot of y'all don't care about college basketball, but I love it. I'd love to talk about it more, but people just don't care. I've been telling people John Calipari's a fraud since 2019. You have to be an OG to remember this. This channel you're watching right now, you think this is a college football channel. It is. And I love college football, a little bit more in college basketball. But this channel actually started out as a basketball channel. If you know, you know. Sorry, I'm getting a little animated, getting a little passionate. I think that's just my energy getting back. It feels good to not be sick. I feel like I've been sick this entire winter break. Let me know in the comments section. I feel like I'm not the only one who's been sick this entire winter break. Let me write this up here. Let's use our blue line as our separator again. Oh, yeah, it's working great. Guess what? This is the biggest piece, and is the missing piece that Ryan Day did not have. And now he does have. One national Oh no, I'm running out of room. Oh no, it's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be perfect. Look at this. Look at Matt, man. Look at Matt. Perfect space and everything. Can you see that? Right there. One national championship. He's got it. And now we can start throwing them in the Kirby Smart conversation. I was about to say the Nick Sabans, but we can now start talking about Ryan Day. And I don't think SEC fans are going to like this, but it's reality, whether you like it or not. As arguably the greatest and the best head coach currently in college football. I know my SEC fans are flying to the comment section. Bobby! I see you. You eating cheesy puffs again? I can't blame you. I was eating cheesy puffs last night. I see you flying to the comment section. Mr. Matt, you've been saying Ryan Day's a fraud. I know. I'll get to that in just a second. But you know who's also kind of been looking like a fraud recently? Kirby Smart. Different conversation for a different day. Now, am I saying Kirby Smart's a fraud? No, I didn't say that. Don't twist my words. Don't take that clip out of context. I said he's been looking like a fraud this year. There's a difference from being a fraud and looking like a fraud. Kirby Smart is, I can't put Ryan Day ahead of him. Kirby Smart's still number one for me. And I'm not here to rank head coaches. Oh, love me some Kirby Smarts. But I'm going to remind some of y'all, and I know, it's the what if, but you can't do this because you can do this about other things. But Kirby Smart is a Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jameson Williams injury away from having a big fat donut in that national championship column. And that's reality. I don't even think that is playing like the what if game. If Jameson Williams, nobody can guard Jameson Williams in the NFL. In college, that guy was a demon. Straight up demon. He killed. Literally, Alabama beat Georgia just because of Jameson Williams and Bryce Young. And Williams was dicing Georgia up in the first half of the national championship. He gets hurt, and Bryce Young is throwing a freaking Ajayi Hall who can't catch a football. And the other tight end, I believe it was Billingsley. Golly. And some other guys. It just straight up bums. Because Mechie got hurt. Look, remember, John Mechie, our other wide receiver, got hurt too. Bryce Young had nobody to throw the ball to. Now, I'm not trying to take that championship away from Georgia. I'm just saying. J-Mo doesn't get hurt. Bama wins that game. And Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't get hurt. Ohio State probably wins that game. Hence, Kirby Smart is this close away from being a fraud and having 0 national championships. Do not take that the wrong way, Georgia fans. You know I love you guys, but that is just the truth. And I know, I just think it's different, all right? And I don't want to get too sidetracked here because you could say, well, Matt, what about in 2009 when Alabama hurt Colt McCoy? If Colt McCoy, the quarterback for Texas, stays in that game, Texas might have won. I don't really think that's a fair argument because that Alabama team, they didn't lose a game that year. I mean, they were unstoppable. And I still don't think Texas wins that game. The difference is Jameson Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. left the game when both those teams were winning. You see what I'm saying? Difference maker. But really is a different conversation for a different day. I need to reset the camera. We're running out of time. Hold on, guys. All right. We're back at it. 875, like I was saying. 70-10, one national championship. There's some other stats I could have thrown up here I was looking at, but I try to really keep things simple, dumb them down. Now, let's see if I can, you know what? I want to live this up here. Let's see, let's underline this. All right, under here, this should be enough room. Why don't you take a look at this 4-game stretch. This is the best thing if you're an Ohio State fan, and it's a bad thing if you're an Ohio State hater. You can't even use the argument of, oh, well, they were on the easy side of the bracket. They had an easy peasy road to the national championship like Penn State. Penn State had an easy road to the national championship. No, Ohio State quite literally had the hardest road to national championship. Tennessee, let me remind you, Tennessee was an outstanding defensive team in the SEC this year. And Ohio State had their freaking backups in the third quarter. I saw it. Crazy. I did pick Ohio State to win the game, but I did not think they were going to blow them out. Nobody thought. Not even Ohio State fans thought they were going to blow them out. Unreal. You had Tennessee talking all that smack before the game. And what happens? Ohio State says, oh yeah, watch this, buddy. Pimp slaps him. On to the next one. And show him. Yeah, we'll just mark it out. Victim number 1. Victim number 2 for Ryan Day. Undefeated in number 1 Oregon. The Duckies. And what'd they do? If they pimp slap Tennessee, I don't know what I'd call it. Actually, I do. I don't use this word a lot because I want it to hold a lot of meaning and weight. They eviscerated the Oregon Duckies. 34-0. And not even the end. It was in the middle of the second quarter. The game was over. On to the next one. That was one of the most impressive wins. Not this year. Not at the playoff I've ever seen in my life. People are going to act like, I saw some people saying, oh, well, this goes to prove and show that Oregon wasn't good. No. Do not say that. Oregon was the best team in the nation all year long. It was unanimous. And they just eviscerated them. I've never seen anything like that. To a number 1 team, outside of what Alabama did to Notre Dame in 2012. But that was a little different. You know, we knew Bama was going to beat Notre Dame. Now here's the thing. I actually called this upset, so credit to Matt. Good call, Matt. But I didn't think it was going to be 34-0 in the second quarter. And they're lucky Ryan Day took their foot off the gas. That game, the final score was deceiving. No, it wasn't that close. On to the next one, Texas. There's not a lot to say there. Although, you know, it was close at the end and Quinn Ewers had that fumble. I never thought the game was in jeopardy. Ohio State, they manhandled them. And then last but not least, victim, uno, dos, tres, I guess you say cuatro, numero 4, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to keep it a Fortnite V-Buck with you. I did pick Ohio State to win this. I picked them to win all these games. So, credit to Matt. There we go. Notre Dame didn't stand a chance. I stated this in the preview. Notre Dame had to play their A-plus game if they wanted to win. I also stated I thought Ohio State, if they just played their B-minus game, they'd walk out of here with a win. And I would say, I didn't grade their performance last night. I would say Ohio State, here's the scary thing about this team. They could have played better. I would say Ohio State probably played they were really good on defense. I would say it was probably their A-minus game. They played really good. Now, give credit to Notre Dame. They fought at the end, but it was all too little, all too late. And they also was the beneficiary of, Ohio State. I still feel like they kind of took their foot off the gas. Just a little bit, not a lot of bit. And then Igbinosa, he's been a liability for that Ohio State defense all year long. That guy was bunzos. That was the only bad thing you could say about Ohio State. Igbinosa, dude, I think he had like 20 pass interference calls against him this year. Golly, that guy killed their secondary. But it really doesn't matter because you won a national championship, so you can kind of laugh about it. The point is, Ryan Day just went on one of the best 4-game runs in Ohio State you're ever going to see. Now, here is what held me back when I was debating with myself late last night or this morning. Well, Matt, and this was, it was me having an inner dialogue with myself. Matt, Ryan Day, sure, he won a national championship. However, look he had a $20 million roster. He had the best 2, not even like top 10, no, the best 2, in my humble opinion, running backs on the same team. He had a 5th-year quarterback, senior vet, in Will Howard. It might have been 6th year. I can't remember if he redshirted another year at Kansas State. You had Jeremiah, what I label him as Jones. There are some people on last video, I was calling him Jeremiah Jones, saying, why is he calling him, they actually thought I mispronounced his, dude, I know it's Jeremiah Smith. I call him Jeremiah Jones because he Julio 2.0. They had freaking Jeremiah Jones, NFL wide receiver playing college football. Emeka Egbuka is probably going to be a first-round pick. Carnell Tate is going to be a first-round pick whenever he goes. That wide receiver room's loaded, but we've been new that. They've been loaded the past 5, 6, 7 years. Defense, Jack Sawyer's pushing 45. I don't know how he still has eligibility. Defense, that front seven is the best I've seen in college football since, I think, 2022 Georgia. I could go on and on. The secondary was the only weak point. My point is, Ryan Day had this stuff of a team. You almost got to be an idiot to not win a national championship. It didn't matter what play call you call on defense or offense, they're going to execute. So, is Ryan Day actually not a fraud by winning a championship? You see what I'm saying? I firmly believe this. He should have had 2 to 3 national championships. However, it still is kind of debatable for me, but this was my final deciding factor on whether or not Ryan Day is a fraud. You see all this stuff on the whiteboard, but here's what it came down to for me. And let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. The goal every single year for every team is to win a national championship. And I just can't label a man who has won a national. I mean, it's the pinnacle. I'm going to talk about the Michigan game in just a second, but let me say this. I can't label a man who has won the national championship a fraud anymore. I can't do it. A fraud is somebody like Ryan Day in the past who can't get over the hump, can't win a chip, like Lincoln Riley. I don't even label Lincoln Riley as a fraud anymore because we know who he is. Nobody actually thinks he's a good coach. At Oklahoma, they thought it was good, but when I was calling him a fraud, now everybody's like, oh yeah, he's a fraud. But Ryan Day, I labeled him as a fraud the past couple of years because some people thought he was good. I was like, no. This guy's got the best team in the nation, all this talent, and has nothing to show for it. That's a fraud who deceives people. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me move this back so I can get out of y'all's face in the camera. Walk around a little bit, getting claustrophobic in the man cave. I can't do it. I can't label. And I want to because I think he should have multiple national championships. But I cannot label a man who has won the national championship as a fraud. I cannot label a man who beat Tennessee, who was really good this year, despite what some dorks are going to try to tell you in the comments. I can't label a man who has beat Tennessee, stomped Oregon. That really did it. You stomped Oregon. You just manhandled Texas, who was an extremely physical team, and you really just completely destroyed Notre Dame. Final score is deceiving. I can't label a man that did that, even with the most talented team, as a fraud. Let me give you a good example. Kalen DeBoer had an extremely talented team this year and lost to 3 unranked teams. 3. 14-point favorite in all those games. Kalen DeBoer had one of the most talented teams in the nation this year and lost to Vanderbilt. I don't even got to say nothing. Vanderbilt. Do you know how bad Ohio State would have beat Vanderbilt this year? And here's what's crazy. We give Alabama so much credit. I even kind of said this. I think I said this a little bit, but some other people were going crazy. There are people actually trying to argue, Vanderbilt's actually going to be good this year. They're going to be like, nah, get the F out of here. Vanderbilt sucks. They had a great year and only won 6 games. Vanderbilt sucks. Ohio State would have beat Vanderbilt by 50. My point is why I bring it up. Alabama, you lose to Oklahoma by 20. I bring this up, and I'm not criticizing Kalen DeBoer. Y'all know my golden rule. I don't criticize head coaches in their first year. Next year, it's going to be a little different because the golden rule's over. It's year number 2, baby. I can criticize. Even with all the talent you have to be able to coach them and get these guys up and ready to go. And the job Ryan Day did, I have so much respect for him. I know we like to joke. I call him Little Bro State. Hopefully y'all know that's jokes. But I have so much respect for him. And I've been saying this for years. Y'all know this. I think Ryan Day's a good dude. I mean, he sent me some golf tees, sent me the hoodie and whatnot. Like, bro, I have a good relationship with him. He's a good dude. Just because I've been harsh on his coaching ability, that's my job. I'm an analyst. Or I know some people are going to laugh at that, but you get what I'm saying. I analyze this stuff. I'm not very professional, but, I talk about college football. It's football takes. If I get up here and tell you guys, hey, Ryan Day, I hate his jacket. That guy's got a big nose. Why does his feet look like? That's being a hater. But if I'm just talking about his coaching ability, that's not a hater. It's just what we do here. Talk about coaching. We talk about how the team looks. Getting back on track here. Sorry for that mini rant. My point is, for him to get this team remotivated, I mean, could you imagine losing to your rival 4 straight years? I don't think some of y'all know what that does to you mentally. One or two things happen. I held up 2 fingers there. One, you crumble like a cookie. And this was a good life lesson. Because a lot of you watching this video, you've probably went through some hard times. And if you haven't, trust me, I know I'm not in my 40s or whatnot, but I've been through some hard and difficult times. When you go through hard times in life, one or two things happen. You crumble like a cookie, or it molds you into the man you eventually become. Kind of like superhero movies. You've never watched a superhero movie where the hero has some easy life. No, you have to go through obstacles and adversity to become a hard-nosed and great man. Okay? Some people in this life, or not even some, most people, when they go through obstacles and adversity, they're number one. They crumble like a cookie. And those are who I label as, I don't have a problem with them, they're just losers. And there's nothing wrong with it. We need losers in this life for there to be winners. It's just how this world operates. But then there's number two, case and scenario. You go through those hard times and adversity and obstacles, losing to Big Bro 4 straight years. And you say, you know what, guys, I know this sucks. This wasn't what we was hoping for, but we got to come together as a team. We got to bounce back and show people who we are. Same thing in life. I mean, that's why I say sports, it's always more than a game. Sports, and everybody should play sports, my humble opinion, even if you're not good at a young age. Get you ready for life. Obstacles and adversity, that's all life is. And that's what Ryan Day did with this team. That was arguably one of the biggest obstacles any of these young men are going to go. Well, you know what I mean? Just in like the college football world, losing to your rival at Michigan like that it's not even like a regular loss. If you know, you know. I know how important the game is. I know I'm from the South, but trust me, I know. And right now, it's the biggest rivalry in all of college football. It's bigger than Alabama-Auburn because Auburn can't even compete with Alabama right now. But that's a different conversation for a different day. That is humiliating to lose to your rival, who wasn't even that good this year 4 straight years. Ryan Day rallies his troops, says, guys, I know it's bad, but we're in the play, and we got to show everybody who we are. And that 4-game run, it really did it for me. It did. I just can't do it. I can't label him as a fraud anymore. You won a national championship. I can't do it. I won't do it. I won't, trust me. I'm not having recency bias. I've been thinking about this long and hard. I thought about it all night, thought about it all morning. I was like, but Matt, what about last year? What about the past 5 years? He should have been won a national championship. He wasted those teams. He did. But he got over the hump. And winning a national championship is not an easy task. Most people are never going to win one. And he's already got one. And I'd say they're well on track. It doesn't matter who's quarterback for him. They're well on track to number 2. Because I don't know who's going to stop Ohio State in these open... Ryan Day's a pretty young dude. How old is he? He ain't in his 50s, is he? Let's be for real. I think Ryan Day's got a better chance of winning another one than not winning another one, if that makes sense. He is a good leader of men. He just couldn't get over the hump for years, and he finally got over the hump. Now, here's the scary thing. It was like Kirby Smart in Alabama. Kirby Smart could not, actually, he still can't get over the Alabama hump, kind of similar to Ryan Day, but he finally won one in the national championship. That was his first one. And then what they do the next year, they won that back-to-back. Once you can get that monkey off your back, once you can get over the hump, oh yeah, it's like this, what I label as a snowball effect. Once you can finally form that snowball, once you get it rolling, it's way easier the bigger it gets. I'm telling you, this was much bigger than just one national championship. This was Ryan Day can now have peace. I can't imagine the mental toll just not winning the big game and not winning the game has been taken on this man. People don't think about that. That is stressful because he knows it. He was coaching for his job in this playoff. This is not a secret. And I know the AD announced before the playoffs he'll be returning, but there wasn't I'll just say it like this, long story short. If he didn't win the championship this year and Ohio State did not win it next year, he was gone. But now, by winning this championship, you buy yourself time. And when I say time, you're talking about Ryan Day could go, I'd say, he could probably go 7 years without winning their national championship as long as how Ohio State's going 9-3, 10-2, 11-1 every year. He's keeping his job because you got the one. That's how valuable a national championship is. You buy yourself so much time. And it's not like Ryan Day, some Ed Ogeron or Gene Chizik at Auburn. It's not going to be anything like that. The dude, I've been saying this, people get it misconstrued. I've been saying Ryan Day is a really good coach. The problem is he's not great, and the standard at Ohio State is great/elite. Now, might have to, I got to see what he does next year. I'll just keep him in really good, but I will take the fraud term or word off his name. I can't do it. I'm sorry for the Ohio State haters. You probably enjoyed me calling Ryan Day a fraud, but you got to look at the facts, man. Numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, but guess what? Numbers never lie. 875, 70-10, beat Tennessee, beat the Duckies, who was amazing all year long, beat Texas, and you beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame was the easiest to look at all of these, if you got to ask me, just from a talent perspective. I know they crushed Tennessee, but Tennessee had the talent to compete with Ohio State if they didn't fold like an omelet. And you got the Natty. You finally got it. There's many more things I could say. I made this video way longer than I wanted, but you know, you seeing my face in these videos is coming to an end. This actually might be, yeah, it might be the last one for 8 months. Kind of bittersweet. I have enjoyed this college football season. I got a feeling I might see y'all again here soon. I might make another talking video, so I don't want to say goodbye. But if there is a possibility this is the last time you see my face for 8 months, we'll get back in the MBG sweatshop and be behind the camera. Thank y'all for another great season, and to Ohio State fans, congratulations. And to Ryan Day, congratulations, brother. I really admire all your hard work. I respect it. I know I've been very critical of you, but it's because I know your potential. Remember, guys, and this is for my youngsters, if we got some high school kids watching, middle school, if your coach is hard on you in life, because he knows you got more and he believes in you. You only need to worry in life when your coach or your father, mother, brother, whoever quits talking to you. Because you know what that means? They're giving up on you. I didn't give up on Ryan Day. There's a reason I was harsh on him. I knew he had it in him. He just needed, everybody needs a Madden in their life to push them to greatness. You know, some of my friends. I don't tolerate mediocrity. If you want to be average in life, that's cool. But you're not going to be average around me. That's the standard I have for myself and everything I do. What are we talking about here? This is supposed to be a Ryan Day video. What am I talking about? Let's just end off the video here. Let me know down below. But